Hello everyone, and welcome back to Total War Rome 2, Heir of Carthage here, and I'm excited to take you through another replay. This was yet another sub-commanders battle that I was able to play in personally, so it's always exciting to do those. And I had a lot of fun during this event. This was the event that we did the reveal of the Caledonies at, and I played multiple battles, and I'm sure I will be playing with these folks again in the future. And I hope you enjoy the replays from it. I like to share it with you also. My team is over here. I'm playing as Macedon, and I'm playing as role number 4, or player number 4, which makes me more of a flexible player here. So I've got 2 mercenary Thracian warriors, and then I've got some citizen cavalry. My general is an Aspis companion, just for, kind of max survivability. I've got a couple of Thracian peltasts, and then I've got some mercenary Thracian cavalry to support the player who's taking our cavalry, which is Armenia. You can see noble blood cav, horse archers. It's going to be mercenary Cappadocians, another noble blood, another mercenary Cappadocian, armored horse archers, and then 2 standard horse archers. And then for our spears and missiles, we have the Egyptians, which is always a solid pick here. There's going to be a mixture of Nubian spears, some Egyptian pikes, Nubian bows. There's going to be Egyptian slingers. So a lot of cheaper skirmish units, and then the Servile Rebellion is taking the mainline infantry, and they have rebel militia mixed in with rebel infantry for kind of like the throwaway units up front. And then there's going to be some chain breakers, liberators, and rebel raiders, and freed gladiators in a second line. So Egypt and Servile Rebellion are going to have a lot of chaff, and then really the killing power needs to be coming from Armenia and myself, because of the way this army works. However, you can certainly get some kills with the skirmishers, so that's just kind of the general breakdown here. There's going to be on the other side Galatia, Bactria, the Nervii, and the Caledonies. So we're going to have the new faction in this one as well, and the Caledonies are rocking the Warhound general here with the Caledonies nobles, or Caledonian nobles. Fun unit there. There is a Tetrarch guard here for the Galatians, and this is a very tanky general unit that was added in the mod, so definitely a unit that we need to be aware of. There's also a couple of Galatian legionaries, as well as Galatian swords, so Galatia is going to be a big threat in the melee department, and of course Bactria is always a major threat in the cavalry department. They have some light horse and Bactrian nobles. The Bactrian nobles are very dangerous cavalry indeed, and then the Nervii are supporting with mighty horse too, which is not a bad horse unit, as well as their Germanic scout riders. But there's another bulk of Bactrian horse over here, which is going to be Bactrian horse archers. Now, Bactrian horse archers fare better in a melee and have a little more mass. They're a medium missile cavalry, whereas, for instance, like the Scythian horse archers, really bad in a melee, and they're the lightest. However, they also will be the fastest. So that's kind of the difference with Bactrian horse archers. The Bactrian horse archers, otherwise, fairly similar. But that's pretty much the layout of the armies. I'm going to go ahead and hit play here and let this one go. There is a little town in the middle of this map, which makes for quite a bit of fun because there is going to have to be some maneuvering. If you fight in town, there's going to be a lot of choke points, or you have to maneuver around it, and it can help secure a flank and make it difficult to get around one flank. This is going to be an interesting fight. Like I said, we have a ton of kind of just chaff units up front, and we're hoping to do some damage with the missiles and the cavalry. And you can tell, obviously, with the few pike units that are in here as well, they're going to be meant to kind of support through the cheap units. My goal is to just not die too early and to do my best to ward off an enemy and keep my units until late when they might be of maximum consequence. Don't throw away anything too early if you can avoid it. So that's kind of my objective here. Now, the infantry fight gets started really early in this, which doesn't always happen, but the Nubian spears and the rebel militia, of course, is a phalanx unit, but they're not exactly deployed very well as a phalanx at the moment. But kind of a blob of units here. You can see the Liberator is going to immediately come in after the Tetrarch Guard to support the Egyptian pikemen in there as well. The Egyptian pikes are kind of in a wonky position there. There are rebel raiders, so a very hefty infantry fight, and the Nervii are helping with some guerrilla swordsmen who are deployed out there, and we are already facing a major flank issue here that we can't hold off, so I kind of just have to fall back with my infantry for the moment. Now, in the meantime, this fight up here is going to get hit. I apologize for my voice. Is going to get hit by some Bactrian noble horse. That noble horse is going to do a lot of damage into these cheap rebel units. Remember, most of these units are throwaway. Now, there's going to be some noble blood cavalry here trying to help counteract this a little bit. There's still a good deal of infantry back here, and the missiles, of course, are streaming in. You can see the Tetrarch Guard taking heavy fire at the moment, which is a great target. That's certainly a target. The Liberators have done fairly well, but they're not getting a ton of kills. They're in a heavyweight fight. They are using Rebellion, and I am Spartacus, though, which will make these Liberators, at least temporarily, very tanky, potentially quite deadly. But you can see that we're having a hard time warding off the stuff on our flanks. And this Fianna here, one of the new Caledonia's units, is doing a pretty good job of being a pain in the butt back here as well. But see, Bactria had some more noble horse. There's some Caledonian nobles that were hiding there as well. So it is an interesting mess. The Caledonian nobles have already released their hounds, which was probably to help with the charge, would be my guess. The hounds are quite good at that. See over here, the rebel militia, not bad when it gets into the right position. It can hold back better units for at least a little while. Huge numbers, but even as a pike unit, these guys are not going to do great. They're just more of a chaff and a holding force. You can see a guerrilla swordsman already outflanking us, though, and our flank's getting pushed hard over here. If I just engage, I'm going to die quickly. My team's going to get rolled up. So at the moment, I'm really just trying to hold and distract. So I'm kind of falling back, but I'm also trying to prevent the enemy from getting an easy run at our skirmishers. I'm having to watch out for my general, who is a very valuable target. And I did I'm deciding here to do a little bit of a charge with my Thracian warriors to help hold back some of these Galatian legionaries. The Thracian warriors are going to be glass cannons, essentially. My peltists are getting a little bit beat up out here. I'm going to have to pull them back. But again, this is kind of a holding maneuver at the moment. I'm at least able to just kind of keep these units' attention, and then I'm going to just keep falling back. We've actually done pretty okay in the infantry fight over here. We've managed to mop up a decent number of units. The Galatians have taken heavy losses in their attempt to overrun our line. We've taken quite a few losses as well. You can see we're a little bit behind on the power bar, but overall there were some good engagement. These Liberators, unfortunately, though, are going to end up in a bad position here. They're going to get sandwiched by that Bactrian cavalry. They were doing pretty well. There's going to be some rebel raiders coming out to assist them, but we are running a little low. There's still some chain breakers back here, this unit being obviously held as they do have a bow, so you're going to want to use their ammunition, but they can come in clutch later in a game. I did have a Thracian warrior out here. It gets absolutely annihilated. There wasn't anything I could do about it, unfortunately. So this unit is just, again, only accomplishing very little at the moment. I did get a bunch of kills on this other Thracian warrior in a charge against the Galatian legionaries, so that was pretty valuable. Otherwise, I'm still just playing the game of waiting until late and making sure that I hold all my units to support. We're trying to maximize shooting all our ammunition and doing as much damage as we can. See some Gallic hunters back here as well. And then there's some lowland archers. All these were hidden initially, so the enemy was using a whole lot of vanguard deploy units. This mercenary Cappadocian Cav follows the mighty horse too far, so a little bit of loss of micro there, and it's going to get annihilated. So a rough break for us. I am going to have to bring this Thracian warrior up, but you can see how the Nervii are trying to avoid these and kind of bait and switch in terms of units, and then see like the Thracian warrior is just going to get shot here. You can see it's going to take all the fire because it's really easy to pull it down. So our opponent's kind of picking at key units. Chain breakers, again, still just firing their ammunition and waiting for their moment. And you can see over here, I'm going to take my Thracian cavalry. I don't intend to engage over here. I just want to toss some javelins and keep moving. So that's my objective here, is just toss javelins, keep moving. I'm going to bring my Citizen Cav. Now, Citizen Cav got a little bit of a buff. They picked up 5 armor. It's a small deal, but it makes them a little better. Their namesake, obviously, is kind of a joke in the game. Now, my Thracian Peltists are going to end up in melee here. They're not going to be bad in melee against these lowland hunters and other really cheap units, so we'll be okay there. I was thinking about trying to get around to these archers, but that is just not going to happen. There's way too many enemies over here, and those archers look juicy and tempting, but they are really not open for business at the moment, unfortunately. This guerrilla spearman broke all the way through. Again, mercenary peltist will do okay, but the bigger problem is my general comes under some fire back here, and I need to retreat him, and I will shortly, but that was an unfortunate mishap on my part to allow some of that damage. But again, look at the Thracian peltist over here, still managing to pick up a few kills. Citizen cavalry being pursued. So I'm starting to feel the pressure here from this flank. Again, however, I mean, you can see over here the enemy didn't really get a big win over us. but it cost us a lot of numbers. See the Liberators here being finished off, the Chainbreakers kind of falling back and being saved. So again, we're trying to hopefully kind of fight a war of attrition and possibly win late. I make a mistake here. The Bactrian Light Horse is able to catch my Mercenary Thracians. That's a huge mistake for me, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them back. They're close to the rear line, and that's not where I want to be. Look at my Thracian Peltist here. Ended up killing a lot of Spearmen. 83 kills against those spears, and these guys are going to get a few as well. The Thracian Peltist are definitely going to be a match in melee for these cheap Fianna units and Lowland Hunters. They're just not high in numbers. Is going to be the only real downside there. I can't really charge these Spearmen, as tempting as it is. There are just way too many missiles back here, and so see, like my general, I decide to do one charge here, but it ends up probably being a really bad idea because I was too close to way too many archers. So I'm going to have to near immediately pull out of there, but I was trying to bail my Thracian Peltist out of this fight so they could keep holding for me a little longer, but I end up paying a bit of a price there, unfortunately, to those archers. Archers will do a lot of damage to horsemen really quick. I tried to dodge that last volley, but still took a little bit of it coming out. But that Thracian Peltist here, definitely clutching out some time here, which is what we need, because you can see we kind of cleared up over here. However, there are still Galatian legionaries. The Carian Axe General is kind of fending them off, but the rest of our troops here were kind of trying to get into a fallback position and be able to fight this battle out late and hopefully come away with something. You see the Bactrian Horse Archers here getting hit pretty hard. I've held on to a lot of my cavalry. However, we still face a pretty large number of missiles. You can see here they're starting to do some work on us, which isn't great. The Chainbreakers have taken some casualties, but they're also being used effectively here to clear out some melees. However, all these Gallic Hunters, there's still this Galatian Legionary back here. There's a lot of cheap spears that we're not horribly worried about, but there is a lot of them. So individually they may not be that scary, but in those kind of numbers it can be a problem. The Lowland Skirmishers are out of ammunition, so they're kind of charging into melee, as is this Lowland Fianna just doggedly pursuing our cavalry way out in front of its support, and somehow manages to live quite a long time despite all that. It's been extremely annoying, to say the least. This Bactrian cavalry has stayed annoying the entire battle as well. This battle is going to end up being pretty close. We were feeling like we were at a little bit of a disadvantage here, but possibly winnable, depending on how things go. You can see the Lowland Archers right now under fire by the Egyptian Slingers. These archers are going to be devastating, and they are targeting the correct unit here, which is the Chainbreakers. Fortunately for us, that's going to be the shielded flank, but still a dangerous situation. We really need to get rid of that Lowland Fianna. I kind of feinted a charge on it, but decided to just go ahead and get it done. We can't charge these Lowland Archers and Gallic Hunters still because there's just too much protection back there. And my Aspis Cavalry is damaged. It'll be very good in this late melee if I can keep it safe, but that's going to be the real question is, can I keep it safe? Because it is potentially a game changer here against, say, like that Galatian Legionary, which is otherwise quite dangerous. So I'm trying to keep my cavalry mobile, trying to stay away and not just get shot up. Again, I've got a lot of cavalry. There's quite a bit of noble blood cav left, so this should be a close finish nonetheless. You see here the bit of exchange and missile fire. That Galatian Legionary, we don't really have much to oppose it other than the Chainbreakers, so we're going to have to fall back, but we also have this cavalry behind us, which we can't directly oppose because it'll shoot us, but if we leave it alone, it could charge us. I get too close with my general here, take some more casualties, so I am failing with the Aspis Cavalry so far. Just not a great push here. I take my Thracian Cavalry around to try and get the attention of these archers. I just want them to focus somewhere else and stay away from my general. One of the spearmen makes a charge over here to try and tie up all these archers as well, and this archer blob is just looking so tempting and juicy, but again, I feel like I'm kind of constantly caught between a rock and a hard place here. If I charge with my cavalry and I don't get to the archers, they will immediately destroy me. If I do get to them, I could be surrounded by infantry. It kind of feels like, unfortunately, a lose-lose. The Chainbreaker is doing a pretty marvelous job here. I'm going to have to feint backwards again because the archers have now repositioned and are becoming a danger to my general once again. So again, we're just trying to keep units alive. Chainbreaker doing marvelous work there against the Galatian Legionaries as they are outnumbered quite mightily here. See here that Caledonian Noble taking a lot of fire. That's a good target. I've still got a Citizen Cavalry in pretty good shape. Another one in about half health. My general is below half health. So I've not done well with my general. He's only gotten 80 kills. taken a lot of damage. That's an unfortunate position for me. If I would have done a better job taking care of my general, this battle is probably in our favor at the moment. But you can see here what happens when you charge those archers and you can't arrive quickly enough. That Cappadocian cavalry got absolutely mowed down. There's a ton of damage potential in these archers, and it's going to be very difficult to overcome. The chain breakers just doing yeoman's work. My teammates were telling me, we got to charge those archers, and I attempted to, and just was immediately mowed down, and my general here is going to go the way of the dodo. I was able to get my Thracian cavalry out here and distract these Bactrian horse archers and get in there. The Thracian cavalry isn't going to be enough to overcome them, but it at least kind of pushed them back, did a little damage, kept them busy for a moment. Unfortunately, my general has pretty much had it, but at this point it's kind of all in, so we don't have a choice. I'm going to have to charge my citizen cavalry and just go straight for those archers. We've got to kill the archers to have a chance to win this. I've got that other citizen cavalry back here, so this one goes headlong, and it does start to pick up a tremendous number of kills on these archers, and I just mean absolutely tremendous number of kills. The citizen cavalry right here is actually going to be very dangerous. What was left of my general's unit tries to go get a little bit of redemption and plows into a lowland archer, manages to stabilize with 2 units left, and hopefully we'll kill a few of them, but you can see the rest of those archers came back to start firing, so I'm going to charge them as well. And this is going to give me the opportunity to kill even more archers. So my citizen cavalry didn't do much until late, but here late, this one right here is going to earn its stripes and then some. 170 kills, just crushing the Gallic hunters there, which was good for me, and that noble blood cavalry helped me with that. So that is actually gonna, you can see that switches the power bar around a little bit and starts to make this a much closer fight. There are still some Galatian legionaries and Bactrian horse archers left, so it's still not looking fantastic for us. There's this lowland hunter running around too, but we did manage to shatter the rest of these units. It's going to be a close finish, though I would say that our opponents probably have a little bit of an upper hand here because of that Caledonian noble, plus the Galatian legionary and the horse archers. They got a little more flexibility than we do at the moment. If we had a single infantry unit, or if I had not blown my Aspis cavalry, the Aspis cavalry would easily handle those Galatian legionaries, and then we could have used the citizen cavalry to lock down everything else. So, way to go, Air. Left your team at a disadvantage here late. But we'll see. I mean, look at the carnage of this battlefield, though. Just absolute and utter carnage across the battlefield. You can see just not many people are going to live to tell the tale here, because it was a very, very close one indeed. So we'll watch how this one finishes. There's going to be a little bit of feinting, moving around. I'm going to fast forward for just a minute. We're kind of considering what to do, how to approach this. Some of our horses are very tired. It would be better if we can rest, but you can't exactly just sit still and rest. We weren't 100% sure whether the horse archers were out of ammunition. So there was just lots of factors playing in here. There's really no good way, unless we can get the enemy to split some of their units out and be destroyed singly. There's really not a good way for us to win this. And as we're kind of dinking around here, trying to get the enemy to make a mistake, we're hoping for the best, but knowing that one mistake here and we're done. So I have to be very careful with the citizen cavalry. I can't get any of them engaged too far away from the rest of the support. And again, we're trying to lure out this unit here. I turn around the noble blood cavalry, getting very close here to the Caledonian nobles. And I guess that at this point we kind of just have to go for it. I'm a little bit late on this citizen cavalry, but we decided to go ahead and charge here. You can see these horse archers charging. They did a good job of baiting my charge one direction. Citizen cavalry should stabilize in that fight, though, and do quite well against the Bactrian horse archers. And then this other one needs to charge in immediately, so I'm going to go ahead and roll that one forward. My citizen cavalry, though, did not stabilize, unfortunately. The noble blood cavalry has a chance to stabilize. They get a really good rear charge with the citizen cavalry that killed all the archers, and its stats are padded a little bit because of picking up the double chevron. And it comes in and starts racking up some kills. Kills that cause the Galatian legionary to start to waver. That Caledonian noble picks up a second wind at the last moment, and it looks pretty close here at times with my citizen cavalry. We now have the Caledonian nobles and the Galatian legionaries wavering. My unit, though, coming down into the red morale. It was an epic effort, but that rear charge from the Bactrian horse archers might finish me. But again, a really, really interesting final effort here from the citizen cavalry that almost clutched that out. So you all almost saw a battle get clutched out by, yes, none other than citizen cavalry. They are better than they used to be in this mod, although I wouldn't say that they're amazing by any stretch of the imagination still. Yeah, the misuse of my Aspis, I mean, honestly, it probably cost our team here. Now, you could say there's other mistakes too, and there are. But that mischarge by my Aspis Cav probably cost us the battle there. And if I would have just waited and been a little more patient, that would have been enough, I think, to put us up over the top, because that Aspis Cavalry would have crushed the Galatian Legionary and done a number on it, while the Citizen Cavalry cleaned up everything else. But again, pretty nice performance by them overall. I mean, I didn't do amazing, but I did manage to get a decent number of kills. But I kind of felt like this mercenary Thracian warrior got wasted, which was bad for me. And then my Thracian cavalry felt pretty wasted as well. I should have done a better job with them. Ninja Keeper with Egypt managed to get 947, leading our team in kills. So nice work with all of his skirmishers. Alexander getting a lot of kills here with the Servile Rebellion infantry line, especially considering how many chaff units he had in there. But look at this Rebel Raider, the Chainbreakers, the Liberators, and the Freed Gladiators, all getting good kills, which is what he needed, because these were the more meaty units of the army. Only the one Rebel Raider here not getting a decent number. And then there was mine that you all saw. And then Magnus here doing his best with the cavalry. He had a tough fight. Bactria is difficult to oppose from a cavalry standpoint. And Warlord of the Lowlands did very well here. I think it's, I don't know if it'll show me the whole name there, but Warlord we'll call it. Did a good job with his cavalry. Lots of kills here. Bactrian Noble Cav, very dangerous. And the Bactrian Horse Archers, also dangerous units. Let's see, Massamax with the Galatians. He got a lot of kills as well, 928. So despite the fact that we defeated him, it goes to show you how many chaff units were in our army, because the stats over here don't lie. You know, the Galatians killed a lot. They just didn't have quite enough to muscle their way through it. But a good job on our side of controlling the Tetrarch Guard's damage. You can see these legionaries, some of them got a lot of kills. Vortigant Sauce here with the Nervii, that constant pressure from his Gallic Hunters and flanking units was really devastating for us throughout this one, so good job there. And then, of course, the Caledones with their archers. These are dangerous archers. They do a lot of damage. And then those Fianna, I mean, just constantly pressuring us as well. So good job in the end. So appreciate Ninja Keeper, Alexander, Magnus, Jaw, Warlord, Vortigant, and Massamax, all for the amazing game. Hope you all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon with some more action in Total War Rome 2.